Oh wait, this was from yesterday. How Battle Royale took over video games. I feel like we're coming to a point where video games, or I mean, Battle Royale, I might be dying out now, I feel like. Even though we're in the midst of fucking Call of Duty and Fortnite, I don't really see another big Battle Royale coming out. I really don't see another big one dropping. I can't think of who would do it. There would have to be some crazy shit that would do it. And I don't know. If the Halo Battle Royale rumor is legit, I would fucking play that shit. Who wouldn't? But that was a rumor. And then one of like the top dudes from Bungie left. So I don't know if that's actually going to happen. Dark and Darker isn't a Battle Royale. That's a looter shooter. Why are you saying fucking Dark and Darker? What are you talking about? It's more an extractor game, not a looter shooter. What the fuck do you classify Escape from Tarkov from? And Dark and Darker, is it an extraction genre? Tarkov is a battle royale. No, it's not. I guess you say it's an extraction shooter. It's definitely not a fucking battle royale. Yeah, it's more a survival. You have to eat and drink, bandage, do all that shit. It is. Bro, stop. In the mid-1990s, Kushun Takami was dozing on his futon on the island of Shikoku, Japan, when he visited by an apparition, a maniacal schoolteacher addressing a group of students. All right, class, listen up. Takami heard the teacher say, "Today I'm gonna have you all kill each other." Takami was in his 20s, and he had recently quit his job as a reporter for a local newspaper, become a novelist. As a literature student at Osaka University, he had started and banded several horror-infused detective stories. Oh, this is the dude that made the Battle Royale movie, but the well had long since run dry. He had left his job with neither a plan nor a plot in mind. The visitation wasn't a haunting, it was an epiphany. And the novel that followed, an instructor... Oh yeah, it's a book that became a movie, right? Or am I wrong? And the novel that followed, an instructor sends 42 junior high school schoolers to a deserted island. The kids awaken to find explosive collars secured around their necks. They're ordered to collect a backpack containing a map and a random weapon, a gun, or an ice pick. If they are lucky, a paper fan or a shamisen banjo if they're not. The students must compete to become the last person standing. The winner will leave the island with a lifetime pension. If there is more than one survivor, the collars will detonate. Some of the students choose suicide over submission. Most eventually comply and fight. Kami was a fan of professional wrestling. He particularly enjoyed matches that involved wrestlers who made fleeting and mutually beneficial alliances, a style traditionally known as Battle Royale. There could be only one winner in a Battle Royale, so packs were inevitably broken, lending each match a wary frisson. Takami saw a similar dynamic in adolescence when friendships were easily formed, or forcing a group of classmates to destroy one another was provocative, but also strangely relatable. When he told a friend that he planned to call the book Battle Royale, his friend, confusing the term with the coffee drink Cafe Royale, replied, "You mean Battle Royale?" I don't get it. Oh no, Battle Royale. Lol. The novel proved controversial. In 1997, the judges of a Japanese writing prize passed on the manuscript because it was too reminiscent of a recent murder in Kobe, in which a 14-year-old boy impaled the head of another student on the gates of a school. What the fuck? But in 1999, Oda Publishing, a company known for provocative titles, released the book. It became an international bestseller. Stephen King named it to his summer reading list. In 2000, Battle Royale became a hit movie starring Takashi Kitano as a schoolteacher. Quentin Tarantino later called it one of his favorite films of all time. Takami's premise was well suited to a video game adaptation. The rules were clearly defined, the setting neatly contained, and competitive violence had been one of the medium's primary currencies since the 1960s. Video game technology, however, wasn't quite up to par. In the early 2000s, very few computers could simulate in 3D the behavior of dozens of characters doing battle across an island, and very few internet providers could calculate whether a banjo hurled by, say, Bob in Kansas would strike the head of Sven in Stockholm. Soon, though, such games would be more than possible. They would transform the industry. In 2020, Warzone, the Call of Duty series take on Battle Royale, attracted more than 100 million active players, generating revenues of about $3 billion. The same year, Epic Games reported that Fortnite, its candy-colored, kid-friendly spin on Battle Royale, had 350 million accounts, more than the population of the United States. A recent lawsuit revealed that when Fortnite was available on Apple devices, the game generated an estimated 700 million in App Store revenue. Today, countless games, along with hit TV shows such as Squid Game, bear the stamp of Battle Royale's influence. Takami's blueprint, drawn from a dream, has become one of the dominant paradigms in entertainment. Story of the rise might begin in 2013 in Brazil, where Brandon Green, an Irish web designer, was living while saving up for a plane ticket home following a divorce. Green, who is assiduously private, his online moniker is Player Unknown, grew up on the Curragh Camp, an army training center in County Kildare, where his father served. He and his brother played on the family's Atari 2600 console until it fell apart. He told me, but he later fell out of love with games, which he felt were becoming too scripted, more like movies than the tests of skill and cunning he enjoyed. In Brazil, Green was browsing Reddit when he read about DayZ, a punishing survival-based video game that appealed to his desire for challenge. It was the first game he bought in years, and he quickly became obsessed. Wow, this article actually mentions... Wow, the New Yorker actually doing this shit. DayZ was a mod, and I thought it was just going to be about fucking Fortnite and shit. DayZ was a mod, a new game built from the parts of an old one, in this case, a military combat simulator called Arma 2. Mods, which are usually made by amateur enthusiasts, can be arcane and scrappy, but the scene is a hotbed for experimentation. DayZ's gameplay fascinated Green, who, despite lacking technical expertise, began to make his own mods to the mod. I still think Arma 2 Battle Royale was one of the best. With the PvE of the zombies and the blood bag healing and the AS-50. He added a fortress in the middle of the map. Players would enter empty-handed, scavenge for weapons, then fight to the death. Yeah, and how you all spawn in that barn and you have to run to the other side and pick up a backpack, and the backpack might have a shit Makarov in it with one bullet. Or you might pick up a backpack and it doesn't have jack shit. He added a fortress in the middle of the map. Players would enter empty-handed, scavenge for weapons, then fight to the death. Unlike most competitive video games at the time, in which characters respawned after dying, Green's mod radically gave each player a single life. When you were out, you were out. The rules evoked the Hunger Games, a series of books that share a similar premise to Battle Royale. One of Green's collaborators suggested the title Hunger Games, but Green had worked long enough in marketing to know he was going to get sued if he did that. He told me while studying fine art in Dublin, Green had watched Battle Royale, recalling the film's poster, which showed two school children, one holding an axe, the other a shotgun. He mocked up an image that placed his game's characters in a similar pose alongside the text DayZ Battle Royale. Green drew further inspiration from the film. He replaced his game's fortress with a barn and arranged 24 backpacks at its far end, each containing a grenade, a pistol, a bandage, or a chainsaw. At the beginning of a match, which lasted 90 minutes, there was no chainsaw. The fucking Arma 2 doesn't... You can't have a chainsaw in Arma 2. The players arrived at one end of the barn. If you were smart, you didn't give a fuck about the backpacks, and you just ran. Green told me. I remember. There was a chainsaw? I don't remember that shit at all. Knowing DayZ, that shit barely worked. But new players would rush forward. Someone would get the gun, then everyone would be screaming. Yeah, in Arma? They made a chainsaw work in Arma? He's talking about the film? No, he's not, dude. What are you talking about? In Takami's novel, portions of the island became off limits at regular intervals, focusing the classmates into smaller spaces. Green wanted a similar way to narrow the field. Dividing the island into squares was beyond his programming ability, so he placed the tightening circle onto the map. If a player wandered outside it, their character would quickly expire. Each match now enjoyed a natural, exhilarating crescendo. DayZ Battle Royale went online in September 2013. The game used 6 servers, which Green managed by hand. He stayed awake for 48 hours at a time, acting as a virtual bouncer, allowing new players in and locking the room when it was full. An obscure nook of the web became a coveted hangout. People were waiting for hours, even days, to get in. He recalled Sakabali Zahid, a popular American video game streamer known as Lirik, was an early player. He kept coming back for one more game. One more game, Green said. A guy of discerning taste like that, I was onto something. Green's mod soon caught the attention of industry professionals. On Twitter, he received a message from John Smedley, the then president of Sony Online Entertainment, who invited him to San Diego to design a Battle Royale mode for H1Z1, a game in development. Here was an opportunity to get my game in front of a global audience, Green told me. He joined as a consultant, but left after finding that the H1Z1 team had simplified his vision. Several other companies had become interested in making Battle Royale games, and Green worried that his idea was being wrested from his control. I was like, hello, he said. In 2016, Green received an email from Changkan Kim, a game developer from South Korea, offering him the chance to make a Battle Royale to his specifications. That March, the day before his 40th birthday, Green immigrated to South Korea, and a year later, his team released PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, or PUBG. Yo, say what you will about PUBG, but like fucking him leaving H1Z1 and making PUBG was such a fucking smart decision. If he just stuck with H1Z1, H1Z1 was like a good Arma 2 was Arma 2 Arma 2, Arma 3, Daisy, you know, they started the fire. H1Z1 spread the fire. And then PUBG fucking ignited the whole fucking scene, you know? So if he never left and took this deal in South Korea, I don't know. This was very smart of him. Like, straight up. This was so fucking smart. You can't deny, like, PUBG was insane. I still remember seeing the Steam stats page, and it was always the same, like, roughly 10 same games. And then PUBG dropped, and literally you've never seen a game go fucking higher than Dota and Counter-Strike. It's like, holy shit. Like, what is going on here? Literally changed. That was fucking insane. No, I can't think of another game that will ever do that again. It's still as big? Yeah, outside of America. I went back to PUBG. It's still like a very fun game to play. It's just kind of annoying to play in America. It's just like you just first your fucking viewers. PUBG was based closely on Green's original mod with a few elegant adjustments. 100 players would now, like the driving in PUBG, so crispy. And the shooting, some of the guns are just great. With a few elegant adjustments, 100 players would now enter the map by jumping from a plane, allowing each to choose whether to head towards a popular area for immediate tussling or towards a more remote spot to scavenge. The game was an immediate blockbuster, earning $11 million in 3 days. In 2018, it passed $1 billion in sales. You know what's fucking crazy? Oh, wait, it passed $1 billion in sales. Oh, yeah, true. What's crazy is if you compare PUBG sales to fucking Call of Duty. Call of Duty made fucking $3 billion in a shorter time. To read or watch a Battle Royale is an intense experience, but to participate in one involves different tier of exhilaration. Wait, hold on. How long is this fucking article? Holy shit. Bro, we gotta go. We gotta fucking Tarkov, man. We got some trailers to watch. I mean, it's interesting because then they get into Infinity Ward and how Infinity Ward made Warzone. So seeing the more high-level stuff, I can just quickly skim. Often in multiplayer games, you're just running around racking up points. Frank Lance, the founding director of the New York University Game Center, told me. That works well, but it has a samey intensity, like a piece of music that starts out fast and stays fast. Battle Royale has a built-in structure and dramatic arc. In 2021, Lance released a Scrabble-themed Battle Royale game called Battle Royale. Oh my god, I remember this fucking game, which he co-designed with his son. I played this shit on Sub Sunday. This game had some fucking dumbass faults where some of the words made no sense. You like lost to words that weren't even in the English language. In game design, you're always looking for rules that interact in particularly interesting ways. He told me a Battle Royale steadily reducing map heightens a game's intensity, and the fact that each player has a single life raises the stakes, making each victory unforgettable. Every action matters. Professional Call of Duty player Ben Perkin told me, the closer you get to the end, the more invested you become on staying alive for the rush of a win. Oh, here we go. At Infinity Ward, the Los Angeles-based co-developer of the Call of Duty series, which has long established a template for online competitive shooting games, PUBG was disruptive and divisive. You could see it propagating through the office like wildfire. Joe Seasot, the studio's multiplayer design director, said people were like, how do we make something like this? What would our twist on this be? That's how fucking gaming is, man. That's literally it. The AAA devs aren't going to drop millions of fucking dollars making a Battle Royale. It always starts with someone who's a modder or someone like a AA dev, like SOE, testing it out with a smaller budget, and then the fucking dudes with the fucking money seeing that shit and then going ham with it. Introducing Battle Royale to a marquee series was a major risk. Call of Duty's Team Deathmatch. I'm more interested in, like, quotes. Oh, this is actually kind of interesting. The team got... Okay, this is how Call of Duty started. The team got to work on a new mode called Warzone, assigning 6 designers to build a large-scale environment using the game's existing engine. They loosely based the map on the Ukrainian city of Donetsk. In order to introduce bullet drop-off over long distances, they rewrote the game's ballistic system, and in the process realized that the series had sped up over the years, with characters running about 50 miles per hour. In Warzone, this made it nearly impossible to hit a moving target at range. The animators installed a line of LED lights in the studio, which would trigger in sequence to show the speed at which characters ran. After attempting to race the lights, they reduced the top speed by 20%. Causing some of on the team to balk. One designer said to me, "Congratulations, you have ruined this game." Infinity Ward studio head Patrick Kelly told me. The team also played with the established template. We felt the Battle Royale was a bit too punishing, Kelly said. The fact you can randomly get shot in the head encourages players to hide until the hurt is cold. That brutality promotes conservatism for action, inspired by a popular in-house mode. Kelly suggested to introduce a kind of purgatory. Oh, this is where the Gulag came out. Well, you can't deny the Gulag was a good idea. The anxiety that Warzone would ruin the Call of Duty franchise was intense. One afternoon, Kelly was so preoccupied while driving home from the office that he ran into a stop sign, crashing his car. What? But when a Warzone launched in March 2020, it became an immediate success with more than 6 million downloads in 24 hours. It was a transcendent moment. Joel Emsley, the studio's art director, told me it completely re-energized the franchise. Now the sky is the limit. Yeah, no shit, because you've been making the same fucking game every year. One of Battle Royale's virtues is its legibility. Any onlooker can understand what's happening, which is often blah, blah, blah. Fucking, yo, Battle Royale was a godsend to the behemoth that is Infinity Ward. Yeah, the rest is whatever. That was a good article. I thought they were going to skim and not mention, like, the actual history of Battle Royale and how it came to be. So that's kind of cool, actually. That's pretty cool. Blackout was before Warzone. Oh, yeah, true. They didn't mention Blackout, did they? They could also just make a good MP game again without Battle Royale. The problem with Call of Duty is their fans are just like Battlefield fans. It doesn't matter. The people who yearn for a regular multiplayer Call of Duty are fucking Pepega. That's the problem. You guys think that's what you want, but it's not what you fucking want. All right? That's what it comes down to. On top of the fact, Call of Duty fans are now like fucking Battlefield fans. They could release a straight up Call of Duty, the next one with no fucking Warzone, had the same formula of deathmatch, team deathmatch, search and destroy, fucking domination, whatever the fuck. And then people always just talk about how this one's better than the current one. That's how it always is. European Parliament votes to take action against loot boxes, gaming addiction, gold farming, and more. Oof. I wonder if anything's actually going to happen here. European Parliament votes to take action against loot boxes, gaming addiction, gold farming, and more. Commission will also set up a European video game strategy to grow industry and a European video game award. What the fuck? RIP EU. The European Parliament voted today to adopt a report calling for the European Commission to address several issues in the games industry that it believes will better protect consumers, especially young people. The report was led by MEP Adriana Maldonado, Lopez made more than a dozen recommendations in a report, including a call for harmonized rules across the European Union's single market when providing clear information about games content, as well as systems that help parents understand and control how much time and money their children spend on games. Oh no. Little Timmy with an accent on the M. The Pan-European Game Information PEGI age rating system was highlighted as an example of something that could deliver more transparent information about the content, target age group, and in-game purchase options to consumers. You know, one thing I can respect about EFT is it's just a fucking box copy. I can respect that. Used across 38 countries, PEGI ratings are currently a legal requirement in some markets, but not in others. MEPs also voted to have the commission analyze the impact of loot boxes and prompts to make in-game purchases, taking action if necessary, as well as investigating whether gold farming can be linked to financial crimes and human rights abuses. Jesus! Hold on, I gotta message my guy on AIM. I gotta tell him he needs to chill. No more gold farming for a bit. They also call for developers to avoid designing games that feed addiction, with Lopez citing the HWO's recognition of gaming disorder as an example of the state of addiction among some players. Oof! Other actions are recommended include... You know what? You know what the good thing is? There's not as many... Okay, maybe because I'm a little older now. I feel like games were... I'm probably wrong. Games, when we were growing up, there were better games to be addicted to that were less predatory. Because they were so fucking good compared to nowadays. There weren't loot boxes, there weren't battle passes, but the games were so fucking good that it was legit. I was fucking addicted. Completely fucking addicted. Counter-Strike, fucking addicted. I used to skip school sometimes and pretend I was sick. Same with fucking World of Warcraft, you know? And I know I always mention it, but it's like those games were like heavy addiction. Like you fucking play them for years and you just follow the same formula and you just take everything else. Everything else comes secondary. Nowadays, what is there to get addicted to? Now, don't get me wrong. There's levels of it. Are kids still super addicted to Call of Duty? Like, is Modern Warfare 2 like a problem for a parent? Like, I wonder how heavy the addictions are. Like, how many times can you queue for fucking Modern Warfare 2 in a day? I feel like the addiction isn't the same. Valorant as well. Fortnite has kind of died out. Not really died out. Fortnite's still around. Sure, they don't make headlines, but how many fucking people really are addicted to Fortnite? Is the fucking carrot in these games that fucking juicy as they were for the games we grew up playing? I don't know. Who the fuck here has like a sibling or something? How insane are they addicted to these games still? Is it on the level of like, yo, I'm literally up and playing the game, I'm fucking sleeping and still somehow have the controller in my hand? Roblox? The hell do you do in Roblox? My little brother is a Fortnite addict. Jesus. Alright, I'm fucking wrong. Damn, that sucks. So what you're saying is the games nowadays are shittier compared to when we were growing up, but the shittier games still manifest massive addiction in the Zoomers. That's what you're saying. So the product isn't as potent as it used to be, but the addiction is still there. Jesus. Yeah, they're fucked. All right. Oh my God. Other actions recommended include prioritizing data protection, improving the gender imbalance of the industry's workforce, making it as easy for consumers to cancel a subscription as it is to sign up. That's a fucking shot at Fortnite when they got sued. Epic. The European Parliament also recognized the value of the video game sector as well as its potential to help with education, mental health, and other aspects of life. Oh, true. MEPs have asked the European Commission to devise a European video game strategy that would boost the industry and help unlock its full potential. I saw in the local news they were saying, of course, I haven't watched the local news in a while, but it was like, next up, parents be aware, video game bullying and racism is on the rise. And I was like, what the fuck? It's cause, man, people are insane. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is fucking crazy. Now with proximity chat, there's no filter. There's no fucking filter. Why do you think everybody hates Modern Warfare 2? Everybody's sick of the fucking game already. I see what the pros say. They're finally getting sick of picking up the fucking metal off the floor. All right? And Call of Duty devs realized, okay, they were all in a meeting and they're like, holy shit. This is literally a shittier version of the first one, and we're just going to put a 2 on it, and everybody's going to eat it up because they fucking love it. What do we do to change everything? And one guy in the back was like, just add proximity chat, because he fucking knows Call of Duty is a toxic shit pit. All you need to do is let the people entertain themselves. Let the people entertain themselves. The people are the content with the microphones. But then it just goes into a fucking toxic shithole. Obviously, because you're shooting each other. You're not fucking hugging each other and getting fucking rank ups. There's not a fucking hug counter on the top right. There's a big fucking skull. And the number goes up. What do you think is gonna happen? MEC, I've asked the European Commission to devise a European video game strategy that would boost the industry and help unlock its full potential. What the fuck? They also proposed the creation of a new annual European Online Video Game Award. Is this like an award show? This is singular. Is this one game getting an annual European award? Our report highlights the positives of this pioneering industry, but also social risks we need to bear in mind, like the impact of gaming on mental health, said Lopez when introducing a report to the plenary today. This is something that can particularly affect younger gamers. We need to harmonize EU rules, ensuring strengthened consumer protection and with a specific focus on minors. And however, a vote, the Interactive Software Federation of Europe and the European Game Developers Federation issued a joint statement to gamesindustry.biz, saying the two trade bodies were concerned by calls for stricter regulation of all in-game purchases. The pair said such a regulation will impact the ability of all games firms to fund development. Lol. European consumers protection laws are extensive and flexible to cover and sanction practices that are deemed misleading, unfair, or aggressive. The statement read, as recognized by several studies, the problem lies with insufficient enforcement, which undermines the effectiveness of the legal framework. Yeah, because it took a while for the parent. I mean, literally, I feel like the Fortnite Epic getting sued kind of like finally made parents realize, like, wait, what the fuck is going on here? They're like, wait a minute. They're finally seeing that the microtransactions are higher than the goddamn monthly phone bill. It continued, our industry is committed to a fair and transparent consumer experience when playing video games. European players have more choice of amazing games than ever thanks to the increased variety of business models the industry has developed. Regulators should guard the right to access these cultural products while keeping Europe's high level of consumer protection. I mean, it was only a matter of time. consumer protection to develop a common European identity verification system to help check the age of players. Whoa, to develop minimum standards on privacy preservation, to collect EU-wide data on the average time spent playing games, average in-game spending, socio-physiological effects present in yearly report to Parliament on it. I think Europeans spend more time gaming than Americans. I think. I have a feeling, I'm pretty sure Europeans have more time in gaming than Americans. Even though the numbers are close, probably, I think EU's definitely ahead. We're not talking about Asia. Don't Europeans work less than Americans? So Europeans have more free time. And Europeans love fucking video games. So you're gonna then put more time there. You're gonna have more time to game. Am I wrong? There's nothing wrong with that. You guys are taking it wrong. You guys are thinking this is derogatory. You guys are thinking this is fucking being an asshole or something. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm pretty sure Europeans have more time to game than Americans just because of how shit is. You're fucking wrong, man. Motherfucker had to take off his headset while gaming to say that. That's why NA League are full of trash. Whoa. Yo, there's nothing to do with gaming. Name a European console manufacturer. That's literally not what I'm saying. I'm talking about the fucking consumer, not the manufacturing. What are you talking about? We're talking about the fucking consumers here. US versus Europe, how the gaming market compares. What the fuck is this? Who is 80.lv? When was this published? 2022? Ah! And your report suggests a closer look at how the European gaming market does in comparison to the market in the US. Okay, I'm not talking about money, but just out of curiosity. The Interactive Software Federation of Europe and the European Game Developer Federation released a new key facts report covering research in the European gaming market. A similar report dubbed as Essential Facts was also recently released by the Entertainment Software Association. The gender breakdown is generally similar in both markets. 40% of American players identify themselves as female, and in Europe, this figure comes at 47.8%. Americans spent almost 3 times more money on gaming than European gamers last year. According to GameTrack and Yuzu data, revenue in key European... That's because Europeans are better at pirating. According to GameTrack and Yuzu data, revenue in key European markets amounted to $23.3 billion in 2021. Meanwhile, American gamers spent $60.4 billion during the same period of time. Okay, the player base in the US is significantly larger than the one in Europe. The ESA reported that in 2021 there were 215 million active players in the US, while according to ISFE and EGDF's data, this figure in Europe was just under 125 million. That's also not what I'm saying. That's not... Did I say there's more gamers in fucking Europe than there is America? I did not say that. I said Europeans. Those 125 million people have more time to game and probably game more than the 250 million Americans. The US and Europe have different criteria for what makes a person a video game player. While the majority of players in Europe play games at least 1 hour a week, the respondents who play games at least once a year also considered themselves gamers. What? Who the fuck plays games at least once a year? Meanwhile, the ESA's report only referred to people who play games for at least 1 hour per week as video gamers. European players, who the fuck, what gamer even put down, where do they get this information from? Do they like, are there surveys that go out? European players, or do they take the data from like game companies? European players generally spend less time playing games than players in the US. Okay, the average playing time in the US was 13 hours, while in Europe the figure was only 9 hours. All right, I'm fucking wrong. Hey, yo, where's the fucking source, man? Okay, dude, this is bullshit. This is both of the people who compiled this are fucking European federations. The Interactive Software Federation of Europe and the European Games are. Where's the fucking American Federation of fuck yourself? Where are they? Where did they get the American data from? 5 dudes? UK tops list of countries with gamers who spend the most time gaming. These fucking articles, dude. When was this? 2022. Gamers' time spent gaming per country. NordVPN? What? Said it surveyed 16,000 people from 16 of the world's most advanced digital economies. While Britain topped the table, it's the Swedes who spend the least time gaming? No. Okay. How? I would, dude, if I was a guessing person, Sweden would be top 5. Granted, the only people who use NordVPN, I swear to God, are people who play video games. Who the fuck actively uses NordVPN if you're not a gamer? You're usually trying to fucking get around something, and you're most likely a fucking gamer. United Kingdom, 4 hours, 36 minutes a week. Hey, yo. Taiwan, Brazil, South Korea, Australia, France, Germany, USA. The only things Brits spend more time doing online are watching TV, films, using social media, and listening to music. However, Brit slips to 4th in the table when it comes to the total proportion of their lives spent online. Jesus, dude. Yo, I don't know, man. Whatever. Who gives a fuck? I don't know, man. Europe, they're coming after the industry. I wonder if anything's actually gonna change, though. I'm very curious. There's so much to fucking analyze here, and half of these motherfuckers, gaming moves so fast, and there's so much shit going on constantly. I wonder if anything's actually gonna happen here. Like, has there ever been anything implemented that has actually made a difference? I know, actually, wasn't there the loot box thing where you can actually see the like the percentages on the draws of loot boxes? Yeah, you can see the odds. And then I know Belgium cracked down fucking hard. But we'll see. I mean, shit, whatever.